government begins inquiries into a series of killings that occurred under the former administration. And in sport, a victory for Haiti's Real Hope as the CFU Club Championships begin. I'm Nicole Best, and this is the Caribbean in 10 for Friday, February 2nd. I'll be back with the details after the break.
Did you know that a strategy has been developed to help improve the region's education and human resources?
You didn't? Well, the HID strategy, as it is called, will guide CARICOM in how it delivers quality education and training to the people of the region.
The strategy has been crafted by a group of experts called the HRD Commission.
Consultations have been done across the region to get your input.
Do you know that none of us will be left behind?
The HRD strategy is important to all of us, students, parents, and employers. It will prepare the region, especially the youth, for the 21st century economy and society.
The HRD strategy, unlocking Caribbean human potential.
A commission of inquiry has been established in Guyana to investigate a massacre that sent shockwaves across the country in June 2008. Retired Justice Donald Trotman was sworn in as the sole commissioner looking into the massacre of 8 miners in Lindo Creek. The commission's work began yesterday and is expected to last 3 months. Based on the outcome of the inquiry, recommendations will be made on the actions to be taken against those responsible for the killings. The Commission of Inquiry is the first in a series of inquiries into extrajudicial killings that occurred between 2002 and 2009 when President Barra Jagdeo was in office. President David Granger says the families of the deceased miners need closure and answers are needed in other killings.
We feel that this particular one hurt families directly. These are 8 persons. These are people who are not involved or not even suspected of being involved in any form of terrorism or wrongdoing. This is really a massacre of the innocents.
The President feels the way the investigation was initially handled indicated that there was a high level of collusion by the government of the day, that is, the past PPPC administration.
So we feel that this will be a pivotal investigation which will unravel the criminal networks that were behind the killings during what is now called the Jagdeo era, during the Troubles. And when we see the report of this commission of inquiry, it will lead to other commissions, the death of a former minister. It is really beyond belief that a president of a country could have one of his cabinet ministers assassinated and not even hold an inquest, not even hold an inquiry. Why should, if he knows all this stuff now, if he has all of this information, why not investigate the death of a cabinet colleague?
The Lindo Creek COI, according to the President, is expected to unravel the entire tapestry of criminality that engulfed Guyana between 2000 and 2008.
A commissioner has been appointed, and he will call for evidence, and the recommendations he will make, I'm sure, will be based on the evidence he will receive. I was very heartened by the fact that the leader of the opposition claims to know something about this period, and I hope he comes forward to give evidence and let the people of Guyana know what he knows.
And that report was from Capital News. In the Bahamas, a 42-year-old man will reappear in court next month after being charged with arson following a fire in an area known as the Mud in Abaco, which left at least 170 people homeless. Albury Alfred appeared before Magistrate Ansela Evans on 10 accounts of arson. He was not required to enter a plea, and the matter was adjourned to March 15. Police in the Abaco district said authorities battled the fire for over 3 hours. Prime Minister Dr. Hubert Minnis has pledged that the area affected by the fire will be cordoned off and no structures will be allowed to be rebuilt in that space. The penalty for arson includes up to 20 years in prison, and that's according to the Penal Code. Cuban state media is reporting that the 68-year-old son of Cuba's former leader Fidel Castro has committed suicide. Nuclear physicist Fidel Angel Castro Diaz-Balart was found dead yesterday morning. He is said to have suffered from depression and had been receiving medical treatment as an outpatient in recent months following a hospital stay. At the time of his death, he was a scientific advisor for the Cuban Council of State, and he served as vice president of Cuba's Academy of Sciences. He was married with 3 children. Stay with us. Your midday sport is next. Football tops our Friday midday sports segment. TNT's W Connection went under to Haiti's Real Hope 1-0 as action in the CFU Club Championships kicked off at the Otto Boldon Stadium in Couva. TV6's Sergio Dufour tells us more.
With the start of the TT Pro League a couple of months away and with a few faces added, not many local fans knew what type of performance W Connection would put out against Haiti's Real Hope. And a shaky start was punished when Real Hope capitalized. Judy Thompson released, dragged past one player before slotting home in just 2 minutes of play. Connection maintained the majority of possession but weren't threatening much in the first half, 1-0 at the break. The hosts were a more determined bunch in the second 45 and got many good looks at goal. In fact, the opposition goalie was beaten on more than one occasion, but the Savonetta boys were denied by the upright. They kept fighting till the very end, but not today. 1-0 Real Hope over W Connection. In the earlier game, Club Atletico Pantoja of the Dominican Republic and Arnett Gardens of Jamaica played out a goalless result. The 4 teams will see action again on Friday. The top 2 teams from the group stage will progress to the Caribbean final round in May, while automatically earning spots on the CONCACAF stage.
Switching sport now, it was carded as a day-night affair, but Trinidad and Tobago required less than 3 hours to dispose of a listless combined campuses and colleges Marooners by 9 wickets in their second match of the regional Super 50 yesterday. Off-spinner Sunil Narayan was brilliant, claiming 5 for 10 from 7.4 overs to sink Marooners for 101 off 25.4 overs after the Barbados-based unit opted to bat first at historic Kensington Oval. Left-arm seamer Sheldon Cottrell picked up 3 for 40, while left-arm spinner Carrie Pear took 2 for 15. There was no sign of the imminent collapse at the pair as the pair navigated the Red Force attack, but the introduction of Narayan and Pear changed the game. Pear broke the stand when he removed Hines in the 11th over, and Otley followed in the 18th when Narayan trapped him LBW. Narayan then worked his magic as Marooners lost their last wicket for 13 runs. Veteran left-hander Ryan Hines top scored with a stroke-filled 32 from 19 balls, but he was just one of 2 batsmen to reach double figures. And that's Caribbean in 10. Join us at 6:30 for Caribbean Newsline. Do have yourselves a good afternoon.